So you want to buy your first Bitcoin or Ethereum, your first crypto. I'm going to break it down for you with the 3 ways you can do this. I'm going to give you the pros and the cons of first, ETFs. Secondly, the pros and the cons of exchanges. And third, pros and cons of wallets. How each of them work, why you would or wouldn't want to use one of them so you can get started and buy your first Bitcoin or Ethereum. Down below, I'll also have links to a video on how exactly you can purchase it on an exchange and how exactly you can purchase it through a wallet with step-by-step video tutorials. Purchasing it as an ETF is fairly simple. You're probably familiar with Schwab or E-Trade, going on and buying one of those. At the end, I'll even have a list of the ETFs, which I'll show you. And I have a school community. There's a link down below that you can join where I have more videos so that you can understand how to do things such as purchasing on exchanges, swapping on exchanges, purchasing crypto within an IRA account, things like that. And I go into great detail about various crypto coins, various crypto industries, how they relate to one another, pricing predictions, things like that. There's a subscribe button down below. Please click that. You can go to my main page and see all the videos on YouTube. And there's a link down below to school. You can join the school community and get even more videos and tutorials. Here's the video that I put together. This was actually back in May, so I'm going to consolidate it so you can understand the 3 ways to purchase your first Bitcoin or Ethereum. If you want to get involved for the short term, the long term, you're not sure how to do it, I'm going to break it down here really simply into the 3 major ways. Now, I'm just going to talk initially about Bitcoin and Ethereum. Bitcoin, you'll see the ticker, I'll call it the ticker, is BTC, and Ethereum is ETH. Now, why do people always talk about Bitcoin and Ethereum? Well, call it the first mover advantages. Bitcoin is often referred to as a store of value or the world's gold, and Ethereum is often referred to as the world's computer. At the moment, Bitcoin is around, I think it was 1.7 trillion in terms of total market cap, and Ethereum is around 500 billion. The next closest crypto, I think, was a little over 100 billion. Again, in May 2024, things can change a lot. But these 2 are the biggest in the space. And recently, we'll talk about first ETFs, because Bitcoin, in January of 24, 11 ETFs were approved, and there are 11 spot ETFs, which, if you're familiar with gold and silver spot ETFs, that means that when people put money in, they've got to buy the equivalent amount of Bitcoin. However much money has been invested, they've got that amount of Bitcoin. So you're buying essentially Bitcoin, and they're holding the Bitcoin. They are, not you, but it's not futures, it's a spot. In May of 24, just recently, 8 Ethereum ETFs were approved. They're not yet exchange tradable, but they're coming. So both of these you'll be able to buy. Now, as you know, fees on ETFs are fairly low compared to fees if you were to go buy something like physical gold or something like that. But when it comes to ETFs, their fees are low. What type is it? Well, these are spot ETFs, and let's talk about pros and cons. If you're familiar with an ETF, you buy it and sell it just like you do a stock. Hop on to Schwab, Fidelity, IBKR, whoever you use, and you'll be able to get rid of it or to buy it very quickly. It's very liquid, and you're going to be getting very close to the spot price or current price of Bitcoin or Ethereum. There's also no, and we'll talk about this in a second, there's no passphrase to lose. You don't have to worry about keeping it somewhat in your possession. We'll talk about that with regard to the other methods. Some people will say the cons are that it's not in your possession. In other words, you don't have it. Some people like it, some people don't like that. And at the moment, when it comes to ETFs, it's only Bitcoin. Again, Ethereum was just approved, so soon it'll be Ethereum. You'll be able to do both of those. There's been speculation that other crypto coins will have ETFs. But at the moment, it's just those 2. Okay. Liquid, fast, easy. So you want to get exposure to Bitcoin as close to spot price as possible. Same with Ethereum. Just hop on your broker and buy one of the ETFs. There's 11 for Bitcoin. There's 8 for Ethereum. All right. Now let's talk about the confusing things that everyone talks about, the words you hear. So if you want to crush it at your next dinner party and you want to start throwing around all the crypto phrases, here's what you do. There are exchanges, just like an exchange where you're buying and selling stock, and I will refer to that as non-custody, because when you purchase it on the exchange, they're holding the asset for you. Then, let's talk about wallets. You'll hear about crypto wallets. Probably the most popular one originally was MetaMask, and there are others. And that is self-custody, meaning you essentially are holding that asset. All right, let's talk about the differences. Now, when it comes to exchanges, two words you're going to hear a lot are centralized exchange. People like to throw around CEX. People love acronyms because it makes them feel like they're smarter than you. If they throw around an acronym and then you have to ask, well, what does that mean? And then they get to tell you what it means and they're like, I'm so smart. But now you outsmart them because you're going to know. A CEX is a centralized exchange. A DEX is a decentralized exchange. What does that mean? Real simple. If you're familiar with, for example, Coinbase, I use multiple ones, but I do use Coinbase. It's very easy to use. If you're familiar with any type of stock trading app, it's just like that. You want to get some coins, more than just Bitcoin or Ethereum. That's a great way to onboard and to learn how things work, is to go to Coinbase. I think I've got a link down below, and there are others. Now, they are a centralized exchange, so they're the market maker. There's fees involved. You go on, you can buy any coin you want, you can sell any coin you want. But it goes through Coinbase, so it's centralized. Okay. Decentralized, a very popular one, is called Uniswap. That, and I'll throw out another word that you can throw around and look cool, peer-to-peer, essentially means you're purchasing and selling direct to another person. I'm selling you my Bitcoin, you're buying my Bitcoin, as opposed to going through a centralized exchange. A little more difficult to work. If you're not technically savvy, you may just want to stick to centralized exchanges. But there you go. CEX, centralized. DEX, decentralized, peer-to-peer, person-to-person. This is going through an exchange. Okay. Fees. There are fees, of course, related to buying and selling. Some things like Coinbase, they've got a program where you can pay a monthly fee. And up to a certain amount, you don't pay fees when you buy or sell. So if you're doing a lot of trading, not a bad thing. Also, on a centralized exchange, it'll look very familiar to you if you're familiar with stock trading, where you can set your limit orders and things like that, buy and sell. Okay, you're basically getting the price of that particular crypto. So whatever it may be is what you're getting. So I just put spot. Pros, well, the pros here on an exchange is that you get a lot more crypto than just Bitcoin and Ethereum. So you can purchase hundreds, if not thousands of them. Typically not all of them. There's more, but you get most of them, at least the large cap ones. At least the first 100, 200, 300, they're probably on there. But people will tell you, and they love to use this phrase, not your keys, not your crypto. You're like, what does that mean? Well, it's kind of like saying not your keys, not your car. So in this case, you're not holding the crypto, the ETF, they're holding it on your behalf, so to speak. In the exchange is holding the crypto, not you. So you don't have to worry about a passphrase, which we'll get into in a moment. But you don't actually have the crypto in your possession. So if something happens, they go bankrupt, there could be issues with whether or not you're going to get that back or how much you're going to get it back. All right, let's talk about the self-custody and the wallet. This means, think of a physical wallet in your pocket, that you're actually putting the crypto in that physical wallet, as opposed to having it sit in a bank. Right? So you can take your dollars, you can go to the bank, and they'll put it in the bank for you, and they'll hold it on your behalf. You can take your dollars, you can put them in your wallet, and put it in your pocket. That's the difference between these two. Right? Is it sitting in the bank, or is it sitting in your wallet? Well, if it's in your wallet, there's a couple things to know. Again, to look really cool at your dinner party. The seed phrase is a bunch of words that you will get when you create your wallet that you must keep track of, because if you lose the seed phrase, you lose all your crypto. That's daunting. That's scary for some people. I use centralized exchanges. I also self-custody some stuff. But I have my seed phrases saved, and I know where they are. But that's why on ETFs, I say you don't have to worry about losing your passphrase. And on a centralized exchange, you don't have to worry about losing your passphrase. So
If you want to hold it in your possession, then you're going to have to make sure you don't lose your seed phrase. Another thing they'll talk about is keys, and there's public and private. Public, everyone can see it. So that would be, for example, the address that you would give someone. If you're like, hey, send me some Bitcoin. Where do I send it? You send it to this address, and you'll be able to generate a public key that's associated with your wallet. So when they send it to you, it's like money flying through the air, and it lands in your wallet. Terrible analogy, but that's the case. Private, well, that's private to you. So only you have that. Typically, those are things when you're completing a transaction, and it says, do you approve or disapprove? They're using your private keys. Okay. What's interesting, and this is where it can get a little confusing, is that, for example, Coinbase, the company, is both a centralized exchange, but they also have a wallet, a Coinbase wallet. Now, if you can use their service online or you can use it on your phone, you'll actually have two different apps. One app is the exchange app, because they're holding the things for you, and then you can have a wallet. Now, you basically you can purchase, let's say, on the exchange and send it over to your wallet. You can buy and sell and do transactions through your wallet, and there are others such as MEXC. But just make sure you understand that there are two different apps for many of these services. They'll say, this is our exchange, but you can also get the wallet. And only the wallet with your passphrase is where it's actually in your possession. Now, some people say this is a pro. I think it is. Some people say that's a con, because you got to be careful, because you could lose your passphrase. And typically, you're going to need to transfer it out of your wallet in order to sell it. Now, MetaMask has a way, and some others, where you can exchange it for other things. But if you want to usually move it such that you can sell it, convert to USD, let's say, and send it back to your bank account, the easiest way is on an exchange. So what would I suggest? I hope this has all made sense. I tried to go over the key phrases. If you want to get involved in Bitcoin and ETH and Ethereum right away, then you're going to want to go ahead and look at the ETFs, because they're a quick, easy way to get involved. So you can just buy a little bit right now, just Bitcoin. Ethereum will be soon. If you want to get some Bitcoin, that's a quick way to do it. Put a little money in, done. Then, exchanges, I would recommend, of all of them, if I were to say to my parents, what's the easiest exchange and thing for them to use, I would say Coinbase. They can go in through the browser on their computer, they can join, they can easily, just like they log into their bank account, they can hook up their bank account to Coinbase, send however much they want to send, and purchase something, and they can see it. Then you'll have access to more crypto, which you can learn about. You might want to branch out and get other things potentially. And then eventually you might say, you know what, I want to self-custody some of this. I would feel better if that Bitcoin that I've got, however much you've got, is in my possession in case something happens over here. So there you go. It's just 3 simple things.
So here on the screen is the list. There may be more depending upon when you watch this video, but this is the list of the spot ETFs for Bitcoin and the spot ETFs for Ethereum. You can simply just take a screenshot or pause the video and write them down. They're also online. So hopefully that video explained the pros and the cons between whether you want to get it on an ETF, which is quick and simple and liquid, or you want to get it on an exchange, however it sits within their control, or you want to have it on a wallet so you have it within your own control. Like I mentioned at the beginning, 2 links below, tutorials on how to buy it and sell on an exchange, and tutorials on how to buy and sell within a wallet. Also, the school link below if you want more tutorials and classes. Thank you for watching, and I always say, let's make generational wealth together with crypto. Have a great day.